Welcome back to the Automotive Pulse channel. Today we're talking about a car that doesn't need a model year to feel relevant. Because honestly, this thing is still rewriting the rulebook even as we roll toward 2027. We're talking about the Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170, the car that Dodge built as the final, furious send-off for the V8 Challenger, and the car that, even years later, nobody, and I mean nobody, has managed to dethrone on the drag strip. So buckle up because we're going deep on the exterior, the interior, the performance numbers that broke physics, and what this beast actually costs you today. Let's get into it. Let's start with the exterior because this is not a car that whispers. The Demon 170 is loud before it even fires up. You've got the massive air grabber hood scoop sitting right up front, not as a styling gimmick, but as a functional intake feeding cold air straight into that monstrous engine. The wide-body stance is unmistakable, flared fenders bulging out to cover an aggressive set of wheels and tires built for one job, launching this car off the line as hard as physically possible. Around back, you've got the SRT performance spoiler, an exclusive Demon 170 badging that lets everyone behind you know exactly what just smoked them. Some units even came with optional carbon fiber wheels, shaving weight in exactly the places where weight matters most, the rotating mass. And here's a detail enthusiasts love. Pop the hood, and the engine block itself is painted yellow, almost like Dodge wanted you to know, even visually, that this isn't a normal HEMI. Every exterior choice on this car was made with one philosophy in mind. Do whatever it takes to be street legal, then commit everything else to straight-line dominance. Now step inside, and the Demon 170's interior tells the same story from a different angle. This is not a car that prioritizes luxury, it prioritizes purpose. Dodge famously stripped weight wherever they could, which is why a lot of these cars left the factory with just a two-speaker sound system. Less weight, more speed, that's the entire design language here. You'll find an Alcantara-wrapped steering wheel that's grippy and functional rather than plush, with a red LED backlight that gives the cabin a genuinely aggressive feel at night. There are signature Demon 170 badges on the instrument panel, real carbon fiber accents scattered through the cabin, and depending on the build, you could option into a more luxurious Laguna leather interior, though plenty of buyers stuck with the lightweight cloth seats instead, because in this car, comfort takes a back seat to lap times. Some configurations even offered a one-seat layout, stripping the passenger side completely for serious drag racers who wanted every possible ounce removed from the car. It's an interior built less like a daily driver and more like a factory-built drag weapon that happens to be street legal. And now, the part everyone's actually here for performance. This is where the Demon 170 stops being a muscle car and starts being a phenomenon. Under that scooped hood sits a heavily revised, supercharged 6.2-liter HEMI V8, paired with a massive 3-liter supercharger, bigger than the unit in the original 2018 Demon. Running on E85 ethanol blend, this engine produces a factory-rated 1,025 horsepower and 945 pound-feet of torque. Let that sink in, over 1,000 horsepower from the factory with a warranty. On regular fuel, you're still looking at a brutal 800-plus horsepower and 810 pound-feet of torque. So even on a bad gas day, this car is an absolute weapon. The numbers get even more ridiculous when you look at acceleration. The Demon 170 hits 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 1.66 seconds. That's not a typo, that is the fastest production car 0-60 time ever recorded, period. It generates 2.004 GS of acceleration off the line, which is more than most fighter jets pull on takeoff. And the quarter mile, an NHRA-certified 8.91 seconds at 151.17 miles per hour. That made it the first muscle car in history to run a factory-stock 8-second quarter mile, a feat that's actually so fast it's technically banned in stock form at NHRA-sanctioned strips. Because cars that quick are required to have additional safety equipment like a roll cage. Dodge built a car that broke their own sports safety rules straight from the factory floor. To make all of this usable, the Demon 170 comes standard with Mickey Thompson drag radial tires, each measuring over a foot wide in the rear. Plus a factory Trans Brake 2 system that lets you stage the car perfectly and launch with brutal precision every single time. This isn't a car you tune to be fast, it's fast the moment it leaves the dealership. So now let's talk price, because this is where things get genuinely interesting. When the Demon 170 launched, Dodge built only about 3,300 units total as part of the Last Call Farewell series, 3,000 for the US and 300 for Canada, and then production ended for good in December 2023. The original MSRP sat around $96,666 before destination charges and the gas guzzler tax, though dealer markups were everywhere given the insane demand. Fast forward to today, and this car has become a legitimate collector's item. Resale values are now commonly landing anywhere between $150,000 and over $250,000, with pristine, low-mileage examples pulling even higher numbers at auction. Some have reportedly doubled or even tripled their original sticker price. That's the kind of appreciation you almost never see in a mass-produced performance car, but the Demon 170 isn't mass-produced. It's a limited-run icon, and the market knows it. So here's the real question heading into 2027. Will Dodge ever bring something like this back? With the brand shifting hard toward the electric Charger Daytona platform, a gas-powered Demon revival feels increasingly unlikely, which honestly makes this car even more special. The Demon 170 wasn't just a model year. It was the final, defiant roar of an entire era of American V8 muscle, and based on where the market's headed, it's looking more and more like we'll never see anything quite like it again. That's the Demon 170, exterior, interior, performance, and price, all laid out. If you're as obsessed with this car as I am, smash that like button, subscribe to Automotive Pulse, and let me know in the comments. Do you think Dodge should bring the Demon back, gas-powered? Before it's too late. See you in the next one.